Hello and welcome, welcome, welcome. How is everybody doing? I just posted the link if y'all want to join me in the studio. I'm so excited to tell everybody that my moderator, Christine, is back. I'm so happy. I do not want her job. I have decided that is not for me. Just trying to keep up with the comments and typing everything. Yeah. I felt very split in 50 different directions. So super excited. I am glad that she had the opportunity to get a lot of things done that needed to be done during the extremely busy holiday season. Hello, Miss Anna. How are you, love? It's good to hear from you. Very good indeed. So, how is everybody's holidays? Peaceful. I hope. Peaceful. Lots of joy. I know for a lot of folks it can be a little overwhelming and a little stressful, but that day after, it's like, deflate. I was talking to Christine before I came on, and I said, everybody's probably laying like vegetables today going, I just need to deflate. It's going to take a week to wear off the Christmas bustle, I think, just a little bit. But without any further delays, I want to open up the forum for anybody who has any questions. If you have any questions you'd like to ask, happy to give you a reading. You can type them in the comments, or you can come live in the studio, and I have put the link. If you don't want to be on video in the studio, you can keep your camera off and we can just talk that way. If you do chat, if you use the chat, I'm sorry, just feel free to type your question in there and I'll get to them as soon as possible. I'm hoping to fit as many people in as possible. I think last week there was quite a few people I couldn't get to, and I'm working on trying to be faster. I'm working on it. So if you have any questions, please feel free to type them in. Holy moly. Don't everybody talk at one time. I think everybody's still typing. I see ... So there's a lot of people typing. And please be patient because it takes time for that to show up on my screen before I can read it. If you're typing them in, for whatever reason, there's a delay by the time it gets to me. There's a small delay. So I apologize to anybody who's viewing this. I'm sure it looks really boring, but I promised I'm not just sitting here twiddling my thumbs. I'm just waiting so I can get that complete response. But Christine, if you want to type yours out, feel free to, because I know you said you had a question. So super excited. Hey, Joe, how are you? Good to see you. Very good indeed. Hello. I'm happy to answer where your journey's headed. Can you give me your first name? Because it's not giving me, it just says Facebook user. So if you just type in your first name, that will help me. I know it's weird. Everybody works in their own way. I work off of names. Julie. Okay. Let's see. I should be more prepared, right, with paper. I see a movement with you in the next 3 months. I feel like there's already movement in place, but these next 3 months, I see a lot of movement happening, um, changes that are happening for you. I feel like, it sounds so cliche, but I know the New Year's is coming up, obviously, and everybody has that mentality, new year, new you kind of thing. But I really feel that you're taking it very seriously. Like you're looking to implement a lot of changes. Um, I feel like there has been some challenging family dynamics, and I feel like you're letting a lot of that go. You're moving away from that. A lot of internal changes. Um, yeah, definitely within the next 3 months. And, I'm not trying to be remiss. I think everybody, is observant and we all do things to better ourselves. But I really feel that you have been soul seeking, soul searching, and you're just putting a lot of that into movement in the next 3 months. Um, let's see. What does she say here? Yes. Okay, good. Going to be able to get back to a routine of self care. Yeah. Yeah. I really feel like it's very beneficial for you, but um, I I don't want you to take this the wrong way, but I feel like you talk to yourself and you're like, okay, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that, and then for whatever reason, life gets in the way and things fall through, and you kind of revert back to your old standard, which is a lower standard. And I feel like you have went past that hurdle. You're not willing to settle. I really feel this is permanent change. It's not temporary. Um, it's not something that you're going to have to really work hard for. You're going to go, I'm doing this because I deserve it. And I really feel like family dynamics are changing. You're not willing to settle. You're just not. You're not willing to settle. Um, oh, okay. Sorry, I thought that was her commenting. Um, yes, and thank you for that validation. Absolutely. Happy to. Very happy to. Okay, let's go up here and see if anybody else has made comments. Oh, and here's Christine. Please feel free to ask any questions. Oh, thank you, Joe. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Okay, am I going to be able to get back to a routine of self-care soon? Hello. Hi, Taryn. It's so great. I'm so glad that you could join. I know you have an incredibly busy schedule. Yeah, I do think you will. Yes, I do. I think it's going to be a priority. I think that I feel like you're really looking for peace in your life. And I think that you understand the enormous benefit of having that self-care. And you're no good to anybody if your tank is empty. And I think you have a tendency to kind of run that tank out. And that's just because you have a big heart, you know. Am I right? Is this Jody? Is this Jody? Okay. Yeah. Christine is giving me a thumbs up. I'm like, soon as I read that, I felt that it was Jody. I'm like, yeah, you will. You will. You have an incredibly big heart. You give and you give and you give and you give. But I think you're definitely coming to the awareness of you're not serving anyone if your tank is empty. And it's not when will you or if you will. You're definitely going to. You have no choice but to. Because you can't keep burning the candle at both ends. You just can't. It's not doing you any good whatsoever. So if you can, schedule time to, okay, at 6:00, I'm going to go to the grocery store and do my pickup. You can also schedule, I'm going to go for a walk. I'm going to do absolutely nothing. I know you and walking is a big deal. I just feel like that's your peace. That's your tranquil time, your connective time with nothing other than yourself. And I feel like you have to really get back. And I know it's freezing. I know it is. I live in Michigan. It's like Arctic weather right now. So I feel you. I feel you. I know you guys don't have quite the temps that we have here, but I really feel that's going to be your starting point for you to really spend your time, again, walking, getting back to balance, just finding that balance within. And whether that means when you come home and you still need more time and locking yourself in the bathroom for 30 minutes and really just spending 30 minutes of quiet, then do that. Then do that. But yeah, you will. I know you will. I don't think that it's going to last another week, if I'm honest. I think you are going to be pushed to the point of where, okay, I'm done with this. It's not working. What's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. And you are way too smart to keep doing the same thing. So, yeah, I hope that was helpful. Thank you for your question. Okay. Oh, hello, Kristen. How are you, darling? Hello, Darren. Thanks, guys, for joining. Okay. Does any loved ones in spirit have any messages for me right now? Can you give me your name in the comments? And I'm happy to answer that for you. Oh, is that Chris? Okay, let's see. Okay, it's Chris. Okay. Any loved ones in spirit? Okay, so I'm so familiar with your grandma. I'm going to see, because she's always like, so I'm going to see if anybody else has something to say. Okay. Would that be okay with you? Okay. It's so funny because I'm like, okay, does anybody want to step forward? And she's like, she's wanting to talk. She's very signaling. So I'm just going to go ahead and go with her. Um, she's talking about the past holiday. It was very chaotic, very hectic. Um, and you really, she's talking about you taking too much on yourself. I hope this is making sense for you. Um, it's a Facebook thing. I don't know. Sometimes some people's name shows up and at other times it doesn't. I don't know why. Um, but she's saying that the holidays were very hectic, that you're taking too much on yourself. It's like everything is put on you. Um, like you're doing all the shopping, all the you have to do everything, the preparing, the scheduling, like even preparing the home, like everything. Yeah. Oh, you're a good wife. You're a good wife. My husband would love you. No. Uh that's a lot. I love you. I'm not trying to be rude, but that's a lot. That's a lot for one person. Oh my goodness. That's a lot. Yeah. And it's almost like nervous anticipation and you get so flustered, almost like for the presentation of that day, that you're like, why do I even do this? Um, like it's too much. And then you're like, she's talking about you being concerned about how you look that day. And I don't know if you just didn't have enough time to prepare, or you didn't look the way that you normally would want to, or something regarding that. But it was like you were really upset. Um, does that make sense to you? Can can you give me any feedback, Chris? If this makes sense to you? Yeah. Maybe that's why I'm energetically crashed yesterday and today. Okay. I get what she's saying. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. It's a lot. That's a whole lot. Um, and I think well, you're first and foremost, because she's jumping all over the place. First and foremost, she's definitely wants to recognize that you acknowledged her this holiday. Um, she's very grateful for that. So I don't know if you made like a place setting, or if there's something she keeps showing me where you're acknowledging her, like you're giving thanks to her. Um, there's definitely an acknowledgement there, and it's something physical, like you either put a place setting or you did something to honor her. Um, yeah, it was like you were trying so hard to make everything so perfect for everybody else that it was actually really taxing on you. Um, And it's kind of like when it comes your turn for recognition, it's kind of like wah wah wah, that's the impression that I'm getting from her. Um, yeah, that definitely, I agree. That you can't keep going at that rate. You can't keep doing that. Um, it should be, if you're hosting a family event, then it should be everybody hands on deck helping prepare and get things ready. And not like everything literally piled on you. And I know that you're happy to host, but it's being impressed upon me the way that she's presenting it to me. It's almost like at the 12th hour, you're like, oh my God, why did I agree to this? This is so horrible. um yeah, you're gonna have to, I mean, in the future, you're definitely going to have to not take everything on yourself and have other people participate. It's just too much on you. She's acknowledging how you wanted to include everyone and how you wanted it to feel very happy and inclusive and safe for everyone. But really, peace is really important for you. And I feel like that was a whole lot of chaos going on at one time. Um, so yeah. And I feel like I'm cheating because I know I've read her before, but you know, again, definitely acknowledging um, you paying homage to her, lots of love and continuing support. Um, yeah, yeah. So I hope that that was helpful for you. And thank you for the opportunity. Thanks. Okay. Now I'm going to scroll back and see what else we have here. Okay, this looks like from Joanne. Joanne Stewart. Am I ever getting out of this rut? You know what? I feel like you have been going through this kind of the stance in life where it's like 2 steps forward, 1 step back, 2 steps forward, 1 step back, and it keeps happening over and over and over again. You're doing the cha-cha-cha with the universe kind of thing, so it feels like you're making no progress whatsoever because there's that 1 step back. But you are making progress. It's just in minute increments. Um, and I think, and I don't want you to take this the wrong way, but I think sometimes, it's like that self sabotage. you know? I don't think it's intentionally in any way, shape, or form, but I think sometimes that happens. You know, it's like you reviewing everything, dissecting everything. I feel like you're a mental dissector. So you think about a problem and you just go over it and over it and over it. And I should have, I could have, I can, I can't. You know, you go through all of that and then you feel like completely hopeless at the end of it. And you can't do that. You're totally mucking up your energy completely by doing that. I mean, it's okay to reflect and go, okay, I should have done X, Y, and Z. And next time, if I'm faced with that same issue, I will make a different choice. That's perfectly acceptable, but you can't ruminate over it because you can't change anything. You know, once it's happened, and you have to move on. And I feel like I've said this before, but there's so many people that spend so much time thinking about yesterday and worrying about tomorrow that they're missing out on today. And I really want to encourage you to focus on today. You know, if you just focus on today, those minute increments that I was referring to those gaps are going to get bigger and bigger, and then they're going to be huge strides instead of small steps. And yeah, you know, Tom, you're correct. We all have ruts sometimes. Yeah, we all do. We all do. Yeah, looping. Absolutely. I just feel like really, I feel like that is the most sound and sustainable advice I can give you right now is let go of yesterday. Just let it go. It's okay to reflect, but just let it go. Focus on right now and take things in smaller bites because I feel like there's, you know, 6 big things, you know, and you're like, oh my God, this. But instead of looking at all of these issues at one time, look at one and take it in small bites, small steps is what I mean. You know, how can you resolve this one thing? Step 1, step 2, step 3. Do it in that order and focus just on that and nothing else. And it's all about having those small little goals that will make you have great leaps. But yeah. What does she say? Thanks. I will take note. Realize I cannot take on everything. Yes. Yeah. But it'll be okay in the end. I really feel that way. I feel like the next 4 weeks are going to be hopefully change. I see that as change. Like I'm seeing a calendar. I feel like a lot will be resolved within that 4-week time frame. And I wish I could say it was 4 days or 4 hours, but I'm getting 4 weeks. I hope that that was helpful, and thank you so much for the opportunity. I appreciate it. Okay. Oh, you're so welcome. You're welcome. Okay. Oh, good. Good, Jody. I'm glad. Okay, Kristen. I have been having these headaches on and off for the last 2 or 3 days. Should I be worried? I'm not trying to make you hang in suspense. I promise I will answer this as soon as I come back. But I have to take a 30-second break so we can get a word from our sponsors. Okay. So if you guys will just hang tight real quick for me, and I will see you back in 30 seconds. Thank you so much for being patient. I appreciate you guys, my wonderful sponsors. Thank you. Okay, let me go back to my question here. Okay. I've been having headaches on and off for the last 2 or 3 days. Should I be worried, Kristen Coleman? Okay. Oh, you know what? I feel like these are almost like ocular behind the eyes. Have you been straining? I feel like this is somehow ocular. This has to do with the eyes. And I know that there are, tension headaches that can move and all that jazz and cause pain with the eyes. But I really feel like the origin of it is ocular. I feel like your eyes have to do with this. So either you are straining them by looking at a screen too long, reading too long, or your eyes just in general, maybe you're tired and you're straining them, you're overworking them to some degree. Whether that is your vision has maybe slowly deteriorated a little bit and you haven't noticed. Again, that can be incremental to where we don't really notice. I always say, you wake up when you're 50 and you're like, what the heck? How did how did my eyes get like this? And I know you're not quite my age at all, but definitely nothing that I would say you need to be like super concerned with, but I would definitely follow up with an eye doctor. I would. Worried? No. But I would recommend following up with an eye doctor. There's something ocular going on there. That's pretty much what I get. I hope that was helpful, Kristen. And thank you for the opportunity. Okay, let's see. Oh, Joanne was from Canada. Fantastic. Okay, let's see. Penny. Good evening. I've had a male voice ask me, are you up yet? Could you tell me who this person was? Well, we have tons of people around us all the time. I'm trying to zero in if this is family or not. I'm not just sitting here. I'm just trying to zero in on that. See, I'm getting a male with dark brown hair, very clean cut, blue eyes. This feels familial. So I want to say he's like 5'7" ish, something like that. I want to say about 180-ish pounds. Blue shirt, blue jeans. I feel like he passed late 60s. Maybe he was 67, late 60s. Hmm. Wow, I'm getting conflicting information. So hold on. Um, I got to tell you, I keep seeing like the tear off calendars, like the olden day calendars. Um, so I don't know if he was 67 or he was born in 67. Okay. I'll be real clear on that one. Hmm. Yeah. Does any of this ring a bell for you, Penny? That's who the male voice is, anyways. So, he feels really familiar. The energy feels very familiar, but I wouldn't, I'm not really comfortable saying he's family. I don't feel that family thread, um, unless it's family you haven't met yet, like an estranged father that you didn't grow up with, and this is his family, that kind of thing. Okay, she's saying not really. Yeah, that's why I'm saying I don't feel like, even though the energy is familiar, I would not say family. Yeah, that could be. Oh, that could be. Okay. Yeah, that's who I feel. Um, it's, oh, a dad passed in 74. Okay. Hmm. And your dad and you were estranged? Oh, yeah, he just feels very familiar, but I wish I could give you more, but that's really all I get because I'm just going into that specific time frame of are you awake yet? So I'm getting like this, 30-second clip in my head, to be honest with you. Okay, good. Well, I hope that was helpful. Um, but the good news is there is communication that you're receiving, and that's fantastic news. Just continue to be open, and like tonight when you go to lay down, set the intention. I'm willing to communicate. You feel free to communicate with me, and open yourself up to receive even more of that. So, spirit, a lot of times, will connect with us right before we're going to sleep or right as we're waking up, because those are the times when our brain isn't so busy thinking about all of the things that we have to do during the day. So, if you want to, there's nothing special or unique about what I do. Every single human being has the capacity to do it. If you want to open yourself up to communication, set that intention. Don't be afraid. They're people without bodies. That's it. They're your loved ones. They are not going to harm you, hurt you, or cause any distress. The only thing that is stopping you is your own fear. So let that fear go and open yourself up to the communication, because I'm telling you, they would be so excited to communicate with you. Okay, let's see. I'm going to scroll back and see what else do we have here. Um, oh, She made a comment. Yes, that is what I was thinking with me working on the computer all the time. Good. Yeah. Honey, just get it checked. Don't let it go. Okay. Um, Eyes are so wonderful. We're so blessed to have them. Take good care of them, get them checked. And, you just might need some like blue lenses, a little prescription to keep them nice and tuned up. We're like cars. We got to constantly tune stuff up, you know? Oh, you're so welcome, love. You're welcome. Okay, let's see. Lori, do you see me moving to Missouri? Okay, Lori, hold on. Let's see. Lori Ravni. I feel like this has been like you moving has been on your mind quite a bit. Um, I'm not really familiar with Missouri. I do feel like you will move. I don't think as quickly as you anticipate, but you will move. Um, I feel like it's a lot colder than what you are expecting, if I'm being honest. Um, yeah, so will you move? Yeah, I do think you will move, but it's not going to be in the time frame that you're quite expecting or as quickly as you would anticipate. Um, and I think that has to do with income flow. Um, like you have to take income from here and move it there, or you have to gain income in order to do this. There's shuffling of income that has to take place for this to be feasible. So I feel like this is going to be, it's going to happen, but it's not going to be in the time frame that you quite anticipate or would like to. Um, yeah. See, I'm not really sure about this Missouri. I've never been there, so I just feel like it's colder. So I'm in Michigan, right? Um, and I'm trying to gauge like the difference between the two, and I feel like it's going to be colder. I'm just being real honest with you. So I hope that that was helpful, love. Oh, wait, where's she at? My brother wants me out of my home. Not sure where to go. Okay. She's saying to move to Canada. Yeah. Uh, that's quite funny because Canada is a hop, skip, and a jump for me. And I mean, yeah, it's definitely colder weather than that. I'm so sorry that you're going through that. But ultimately, you will be moving, not as quickly as you anticipate, but yeah. So I hope that that was helpful. Yeah. Okay, let's see. We have Joe here. I'm worried about my future as far as my health and money are concerned after my vascular surgery. You've been so helpful in the past. I'm almost afraid to ask you for any more. No, 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 no. I'm happy to. Happy to. Let's see. Joe. Ugh. You know what? You remind me of somebody I know. Um, I can't help it, but it's just so funny because even though you know that you can't go back to doing what you were doing, you feel like you have no other choice. And you're like, well, I'm just going to suck it up. And if I really screw myself up, oh, well, there's nothing I can do about it. And I'm sorry to be so blunt, but you just remind me of someone in my family. As soon as that came through, I just went, oh my God, because this person is just like that. Yeah. And I feel like you are very headstrong in that regard. And you kind of feel like you don't have any um, like worthwhile skills to fall back on that you could utilize for new employment or a new career venture. Does that make sense to you the way that I'm describing that? Um, that's really what I feel like you're going to do. So, is it what you should do? You know, shoulda, coulda, woulda. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. That's what I feel like you're going to do. Um, Regardless of what, you know, good, bad, indifferent, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. What's good for one does not necessarily equate good for another. But I do feel that's what you're going to do, honey, regardless of what I say. What does he say here? Yes, 100%. And I do feel that way. Yeah. I mean, I could sit here and tell you, go back and, find a skilled trade. And I can already tell you, you're like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm too old to do that. Um, like that's your mentality. You're very fixed in your view, and there's a lot of people out there just like you. I mean, somebody in my family just like you, exactly with that mentality. So I get it. Um, so if you don't mind, I'm just going to go out a little bit further and see a little bit further and see what the results of this is. You know, the human form is remarkable and we adapt, you know? We really just adapt to different pains or aches or um, things that go on with our body that maybe aren't as flexible, movable, or otherwise. And I feel like that's exactly what you're going to do. You're going to adapt. You're going to accommodate. But I don't see, I mean, I'm going out on a whole nother year, and I'm not seeing another major health event or crises occur during that time frame. So I hope that that was, let's see, what does he say? I do want out after 38 years. Good. The universe has blessed me with financial support. I just don't want to lose it. Yeah, I understand. I do. I completely understand. But I really don't see another significant health event happening in the next year, or what I would consider a health crisis. And I think you're just going to adapt. You're going to physically adapt, and you're not going to change. You're going to go back to what you know, love. So I wish I had something better for you, but that's really what I'm getting. So I hope that that was helpful. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Very much. Let's see. Go back here. I'm telling her to get her eyes checked. Do you see me moving closer to my screen? Oh, that's so funny. Maybe I should take myself up on that information, right? Okay. Hello, Miss Katie. How are you? Just wondering on my relationship. Okay. So there's been some changes within the last 2 weeks. And I think a lot of that is your mindset too. If you've been like reevaluating, I feel like you're reevaluating. Like, is this even worth my time? It's I feel like you are put in a very difficult spot where the relationship, I feel, was very codependent, and I feel that you are becoming more independent, and now that you are questioning the sustainability or validity of maintaining this relationship. Does that make sense to you? Yes, I have been. Okay. Yes, it is. Okay. Gosh, I want to give you good news so bad. This is how you can tell, when somebody's reading, because I know what you want in your heart. I can feel it. But sometimes, people come into our lives for a season, and sometimes they stay forever. And the people that come into our lives, they come into our lives to push us forward and to propel us on our path, whatever that may be. And when they have served their purpose, sometimes they move on. And trust me, I know how painful that can be, because it happens to a whole hell of a lot of people that are on this path. The reality is, when you start to grow spiritually in any aspect, when you start to put yourself in a position of understanding what's good for you, what isn't, what you deserve, and you start to value yourself, the more we raise our vibration, the people that are in alignment with that are going to be attracted to us. And the people that are not in alignment with that, they're going to fall away from us. Sometimes they are repelled by us, and other times we are repelled by them. Yeah, what does she say? That is true. Yeah. And I'm not saying there isn't genuine love or concern, because I do feel that, but I think that you're just, I feel like the bar was set very low, and I think you have raised that bar of, what you deserve, and your self-worth, really your self-worth, which is a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. And I'll tell you what I tell a lot of people. You can make any relationship work. Any relationship, you can make it work. But in order to do so, somebody's compromising. So you have to decide if you are willing to compromise to make that relationship work. And if you do compromise, then you have to know that you're compromising your self-worth in order to maintain the relationship. So I wish I could, leave you super happy, but that's what I'm inferring from what I'm getting from everything. But I am really proud of you. Not that you need me to be, but I am really proud of you that you've come to a space and a place in your life where you're well enough to know what you deserve. I think that's great. I think that's really, really great. So don't stop doing that. You're so welcome, honey. You're welcome. But I am a minute over, folks, and I am so excited and so blessed and so thankful to have all of you here. Thank you. I look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks, and happy to give you all more information. So I will see you then, and have a blessed week. Till then, bye-bye.